Here's everything you need to know in episode 1 of Gossip Girl. A little over a year ago, Serena Vanderwoodson randomly left town and went to boarding school in Connecticut, leaving behind her best friend Blair Waldorf. But now she's back in town only for Eric, her brother, who is in a mental health facility called the Ostraw Center. And here's the thing, no one knew she was coming back to town. Blair harbors some resentment for Serena because she left without saying goodbye and she didn't call. And while Serena was away, Blair felt like her life was falling apart, especially since her father left her mother for a male model.
Good for you.
Serena and Blair are gonna make up and stay best friends, right? No. Before she left, Serena slept with Blair's boyfriend, Nate Archibald. And Blair doesn't know this. Nate's best friend, Chuck Bass, is a menace who deserves to be in prison. I mean it. Blair's trying to give her virginity to Nate to solidify their relationship since Serena is back in town, and everyone thought that Nate and Serena had a thing for one another. But before Blair can do that, Nate tells her the truth. So learning that little tidbit, Blair is hurt and pissed at Serena, while she easily forgives Nate for it. While Serena and Nate thought they were the only two to know about their nastiness,
A little nasty.
Chuck knows about them sleeping together at the Shepherd wedding. Because like a creep, he stood on the balcony watching them getting it on. Chuck tells Serena that he knows about her and Nate right before he tries to force himself on Serena. Serena manages to get away from Chuck and runs. She runs straight into Dan Humphrey and drops her phone. Dan has had a huge crush on Serena since the 9th grade. When Dan gives Serena back her phone, they set up a date. A bit awkward, but Dan's dad, Rufus, and Serena's mom, Lily, know each other because they dated in the past. Remember that. Blair is the HBIC in their school, and Jenny wants to be a part of Blair's inner circle so she can become popular too. Jenny made a deal with Blair that if she made the invitations to the Kiss on the Lips party, that she can get an invitation herself to the party. At this party, Chuck sets his sights on Jenny and decides to force himself on her. Jenny managed to send an SOS text to Dan. Dan and Serena stop their date to go and rescue Jenny. They eventually find Jenny and Chuck on a rooftop and they do rescue her. Dan proceeds to give Chucky a black eye.
Humphrey, that my little sister.
Did I mention that Blair, Serena, Nate, and Chuck are children of millionaires and billionaires in the Upper East Side of Manhattan in New York City? And that all of them are basically stalked and spied on by friends and strangers who send their most embarrassing and private moments to a random person who runs a site called Gossip Girl? Yeah, that's all you need to know.